Welcome to the Banter podcast, where we'll discuss everything gaming. So sit on back and listen up. Get your headphones ready, we're gonna discuss video games, it's gonna be fun. A window time for everyone. Wow!
Hey everybody, and welcome to the Bearded Gaming Network, episode 28 of Bearded Banter. I'm the bearded one, and with me is my co-host, Random Richard.
Hey, how's everybody doing? We are inhaling a shit ton of helium right now.
No, we're not. We're doing nothing with our voices. This is normal.
Give me that fucking...
It's like we're passing the joint around or something.
Yeah, I know, right? It's the funniest... Oh,
Holy
fuck, head rush.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Oh,
yep.
God.
Well...
Get one more drag. Get one more drag.
There's nothing left, dude.
Yeah, there is.
Hey, everybody! We're here to talk about video games and such.
Wow, that was awesome.
Oh, this is fun. Wow, that was fucking...
Okay, so that's our intro.
That was fucking weird.
I know.
I must admit, that's the first time I've ever inhaled helium, so I had no idea what to expect, and that was hilarious.
There's a chemical that you can inhale. It's just like helium.
It's gonna fucking kill you.
Yeah, basically, if you inhale too much of this shit, it will kill you. So, we should probably start with this.
Yeah. So anyway, welcome to Beer Banter, episode 28. Anyone who follows the channel knows that this was originally supposed to come out last Monday. Unfortunately, there were some technical difficulties.
Internet's fucking bullshit.
So yeah, we're back with the podcast. Bearded One and Random Richard here to talk about video games. Now, unlike the new format that I've introduced, today we're just going to have basically general discussion because I kind of got lazy with details for the podcast. I didn't look up any news stories. I didn't really jot down any of my thoughts. We're just going to have a general discussion about whatever, including games, movies, whatever we want to bring up.
In all fairness, it's... Okay, how much time do we have left in summer?
A couple weeks.
Do we give a fuck?
Not really.
Have we ever?
So, no.
Yeah.
So, we're just going to have... this is basically going to be a more laid-back episode. We're just going to talk about stuff. So
how about that helium?
fucking yeah. I've never actually done that before. That was interesting.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking fun.
Is it just me, or do I feel like a little bit of a tightness in my chest now?
That'll happen.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So anyway, Riley, what have you been playing lately? Anything?
Well, I've actually been playing through a little bit of what the fuck was it? I've actually been playing through Metal Gear Solid 4 again.
Again?
Yeah.
Okay, I know that's one of your favorite games. What's it like going back to one of your favorite games and replaying it? Like, what's the feeling like?
Sort of, in a way, it's sort of nostalgic,
mm-hmm.
because actually where I left off was, weirdly enough, right before you start the Shadow Moses mission, where you go back to where the first Metal Gear Solid took place.
Huh.
So, now, like me, I've been a huge Metal Gear fan for a long time, and in Metal Gear Solid 4, when I heard you were going to Shadow Moses, and when you finally walk into that heliport, I cried.
Really?
Yeah, I did.
Like, physical tears?
Yep, because, I love Metal Gear so much as a kid, and now actually seeing the heliport, which is pretty much snowed over now, but it's still there, and going through everything. And even when I first saw Rex in the hangar, still in that destroyed state he was in after Snake blew him up, I was just like,
Yeah, I love it when games do that. Especially if, a game turns into a series, like the later games pay tribute to, the earlier games. I think it's really clever.
Now, what I like about Metal Gear Solid 4, with the nostalgia factor, is that it didn't just go back to Shadow Moses for the sake of going back. There was a reason they had to go back. Because in the future, well, when the game's set in 2014, which is, next year.
Hey, next year.
That came fast. When it's set, all guns are now ID locked. And so the biggest gun that predates this ID locking is Rex's ray gun. Like a big fucking badass gun that just fucking fucks shit up. And that's from 2005. So, in the game's timeline. So Snake has to go back to get it before Liquid does. And everything... Murphy's Law applies in that level too much. Now, for those of you who don't know what Murphy's Law is, it's everything that can go wrong, can and will go wrong. And that's exactly what happens at Shadow Moses. So yeah, that was something I really enjoyed about Metal Gear Solid 4.
That's cool.
I have to say, one thing we don't like about it is the fact that the cutscenes are Now, I wouldn't have a problem with that if the plot actually fucking made sense.
And two, if they didn't drag every cutscene on for half an hour.
I swear to God, half the cutscenes is just dead. It's the character just kind of settling in looks around for a few minutes, a couple of cinematic camera shots, and then 3 hours later, so what do we do? That's my really bad Snake voice.
Yeah. Actually, a thing I wanted to mention, now that you brought that up, Metal Gear Rising, which just came out in the past year, developed by Platinum. But, it is a Metal Gear game, so...
Even though, coming from a Metal Gear fan, there's a lot of negative shit against Raiden. Like, I'm sure you know the story behind him. Yeah. How just all of a sudden you're playing as him in Metal Gear Solid 2 was not that fun, but even though he's annoying, you kind of grow to like him, and Metal Gear Solid 4 just made him a hardcore piece of awesome sauce.
And Rising continued that.
Well, even though, it is starring Raiden, so people are kind of pissed about that. But being how Metal Gear Solid 4 ended, Snake is not going to, if he's not already dead, not really spoilers, but he's not going to want to, like, go somewhere and stealth sneak. He's going to want to relax and smoke weed. At least that's what I want to do.
But, Metal Gear Rising, developed by Platinum, but, it was, the entire project was, headed by Hideo Kojima, so,
As every game is.
It was still Kojima had a majority of, what's the word I'm looking for?
Influence.
He had a majority of the influence in the game. But, going off that, with Metal Gear Rising, it's a more action-oriented game. So, but unlike Resident Evil, I think the action genre works well for Metal Gear. Unlike Resident Evil, because Metal Gear Solid started off as like a stealth game.
Yeah, it really kind of took the Resident Evil route where, It really took the Resident Evil route where, you didn't have much to work with in the first couple of games. You really kind of had to, survive with what you had. A big problem, they kind of started changing this in the third one where they gave you more weapons. And in the fourth one, a big problem I had, although it was still a really good game, was it kind of said, you could obviously still sneak around if you wanted to, but you were given, like, so many weapons and so many ways to customize them that, there was really no need to sneak around. You could just go and fuck shit up.
Yeah, but, the point I was going to make was that Rising, still a Metal Gear game, but instead of the more stealth-oriented gameplay of the original Metal Gear series, they decided with Raiden to go a more action route, which I think works well for Metal Gear, unlike Resident Evil, which started off as survival horror.
And went into COD.
Yeah, basically. But with Metal Gear Rising, they knew that since it's a more action-oriented game, the pace had to quicken up quite a bit. So basically, there are still some long cutscenes, but I don't think I've seen a cutscene in Rising that's gone longer than 5 minutes.
Well, yeah, again, Metal Gear Solid 4, the average cutscene would be anywhere from 15 to 25 minutes.
Yeah, and seeing as how Platinum Games was the people who were developing it, I played, actually we'll get into it a little bit later, I played Platinum, some of Platinum's games before, like Bayonetta, like Mad World, and their cutscenes, from what I played of Bayonetta so far, seem to drag on for a little bit.
Yeah, so, I'm getting that feel too.
Yeah, but, it's nothing overly, it's nothing just ridiculous like the original Metal Gears, where you just sit there for half an hour for nothing to happen. Casino Royale.
Yeah, okay. For any of you who's a fan of BGN, this is something that's become more noticeable. Whenever there's a subject of bad pacing, we instantly go to Casino Royale, because in our opinions, Casino Royale had pretty fucked pacing.
Casino Royale had awful pacing.
Okay, you know what this actually reminds me of? On David Letterman, I'm sure you know of him, right? Whenever they
show.
Yeah, I think it was Letterman. I'm not sure, but whenever they mentioned the movie Waterworld, which was a
Kevin Costner.
Yeah, which was a movie that went way over budget and barely made it back.
And it also had a game on the Virtual Boy, one of the 10 games on Virtual Boy.
Yeah, really, which is kind of weird if you think about it. But if you think whatever. But the point is, whatever they do on the show when they mention it, they cut to a scene of throwing money in the toilet and flushing it. I've been trying to find it on YouTube for a while, but I can't.
That's cool. But yeah, yeah, so we watched Casino Royale, I think it was last summer. We did it.
No, earlier this year.
Oh yeah, it was earlier this year. Yeah. We watched Casino Royale.
After we saw Skyfall.
Yeah, after we saw Skyfall. It was my first time watching Casino Royale, and it was like... Well, no, Skyfall was my first experience with, like, the modern Bond. But I hadn't seen Casino Royale before, so I was like, okay, let's watch that too. Like, the first 5 minutes is all, like, high action... like stunts and choreography.
Cool.
Yeah. It's like the first 5 minutes are like so action packed, and then the movie just dies for like half an hour, maybe an hour.
And then it becomes, a poker movie. Which, okay, coming from us, we have no fucking idea how poker's played.
I kind of get poker.
I don't. Like, even in the... Okay, off topic, but the missions in Red Dead where you have to play it, I'm just like, what the fuck am I doing? And so I just kind of press random buttons and hope for the best.
I kind of understand poker.
But I don't, so it's just like, okay. But all I know is you can tell from like the musical cues and Bond's reactions, you can kind of tell if shit's going good or not.
Yeah.
So I kind of had to rely on that.
But yeah, Casino Royale, it just had such inconsistent pacing, which to me can really make or break a movie.
Yeah, like a movie we saw recently, Elysium.
I feel that movie had incredible...
That movie was fucking cool.
That movie had, like, expert pacing. Everything was just timed perfectly in that movie.
Yeah, because, like, pacing is something that's kind of iffy with me because sometimes I think movies go a little too fast, and sometimes I think they go a little too slow.
Well, then again, if the movie is meant to be fast, you would want the entire movie to go at the same speed, wouldn't you?
Yeah, really.
And if it's like an action movie where the entire movie is based around the action scenes, then I would want the pace of that movie to be consistently quick. I wouldn't want a whole lot of slow parts. Maybe one or two to like break things up, but in like a high stakes action movie, you would want the entire movie to go at a consistently quick pace. Whereas movies based on their story and the writing, that has a slower pace, you would want the movie to take a slower pace throughout to like develop its story and its characters more.
Exactly.
Which I feel that Casino Royale did a horrible job of, because
Skyfall did a good job.
Skyfall had really good pacing, but Casino Royale, I just feel it was just so inconsistent, because like 5 minutes, like there would be an action scene that would last 5 minutes, and then they'd be in the casino for like half an hour, and the entire thing would be like one or two static shots of them playing fucking poker with no reaction.
Which is not interesting at all.
And then something would happen, and then Bond would get poisoned, and then there would be like 5 minutes of a really high-stakes action scene again, where he tries to get better, and then he's back at the poker table for another half an hour.
And then Bond has the decency to ask the girl if she's okay after he almost died. What a gentleman.
Yeah, it's just like in a movie like that, I think that equal amounts of time should be given to each factor of the movie. Like, I think if they spent, like, 10 minutes in a poker scene, and then 10 minutes in an action scene, and then going back and forth between that, the pacing would have been much better. But Casino Royale didn't do that. There would be, like, 5-minute action intervals, and then it would just sit at a table for half an hour and do nothing.
Which is kind of fucking...
Which makes the movie boring to watch. Like, viewers do not want to watch just people sitting at a poker table. They want to see something more entertaining. Yeah. That's the whole premise of film. It's entertainment. If it's not entertaining me, it's completely contradictory to the definition.
It's like those
the
fucking
medium.
poker channels.
Yeah. Oh, have you ever watched those late at night?
If I were to do that, I would make sure I was either drunk and or high before doing so.
Yeah. What I do, because usually I set my TV up on a sleep timer.
Yeah. So,
like, I set it to sleep for, like, an hour, and then, like, I use it to, like, fall asleep, and then by the time I'm asleep, it turns itself off. Usually I have it set on Sportsnet 360, which is the channel I watch wrestling on, and usually, like, late at night, like 2, 3 a.m., they have fucking poker going on. Sometimes I watch it. I don't know. Actually, I think I learned more about poker by playing Far Cry 3. I think Far Cry taught me the most about poker than anything else did.
Oh. I actually have a sort of a discussion question. What do you think about movies that go on for longer than 2.5 hours? Like King Kong.
Wasn't King Kong like fucking 3.5 hours?
A little more than 3 hours.
Do you have it in here?
Yeah, somewhere.
Somewhere. If I could easily find it, I would look at the runtime.
Okay, but one movie I do have that is actually one of my personal favorites. That's longer than 3 hours.
Godfather?
I've actually never seen Godfather.
Me neither.
I want to though. But yeah, one movie that's longer than 3 hours, but it's really enjoyable. Titanic. Well, you know me. Like, I love the Titanic. I've been fascinated with it, since I was basically a little kid. So, I like the movie. I really think it's a well done movie.
I'll be honest. I have never seen Titanic.
It's actually really good. I don't know if you'd like it. Like, the sinking scenes are cool to watch. The lovey-dovey shit is actually not cheesy at all. Believe it or not.
Is it clever?
It's actually pretty good at times.
Pass the Dr. Pepper,
Yeah,
please, my friend.
some lines are kind of really corny, but then again...
Hey, baby. Is that a mirror in your pocket? Because I can see myself in your pants.
Wow.
That is not clever at all, and I feel ashamed for even saying that.
Hey, you have my heart. No, literally, you have the heart of the ocean. Give it back.
But anyway. So yeah, that is our opinions on pacing. Now, how does that differ with games? Because games are a completely different medium. They're interactive.
Yeah, like Uncharted is easily the second Uncharted game is easily a 10-hour movie.
Exactly. Like movies, they can go anywhere from like an hour and a half to almost 3 hours, whereas games, they tend to be twice, if not triple the length.
Well, movies you have to keep people's attention in one sitting. Video games, you don't.
No. But how does the theory of pacing transfer to video games? Because with a much longer adventure in the terms of video games, let's say a game like Heavy Rain. Okay, I'm gonna use Heavy Rain as an example. It's completely a story-driven game. The gameplay is completely not important in the grand scheme of things. It's all about the story and the characters. That game has a much slower pace, simply because it's trying to take the time to really develop its plotline and its characters along, so you get an emotional attachment to them.
Which makes sense.
Which, to me, that's fine. That's good pacing for what it's trying to do.
And, there's the occasional really high-tense action scene.
Yes, to break things up. Now, what other game? Let's say a game like, what's a really, like, non-stop action game?
Well, COD kind of does. Max Payne 3, I guess.
Really? No, see, I haven't played it. So
Max Payne 3 is pretty hard on action. Yeah, I would definitely say Max Payne 3. Yeah.
Okay, so then let's say a game like Max Payne 3, where it's constantly action after action, constantly fight after fight after fight, keeping a quicker pace throughout, because it's solely based on this action gameplay, So I think the games where pacing suffers is games where they try to be story based, but they're not.
That's always annoying.
A game that tries to give the illusion that it's based around its story when actually it's not. So like they try to like drag out these story segments and then give you a little snippet of gameplay, and you go right back to a slower, story driven experience. So games with more style than substance, I would say.
Yeah.
Really suffer from inconsistent pacing, which in my mind hurts the experience. What would you say?
The gaming experience is an iffy one. Like, again, it's always about pacing.
Yes.
Like, there are games that focus more on gameplay than plot. There are games that focus only on gameplay than no plot, like Mario. There are games that are kind of mixed, and there are games that are more plot, and then there are games that are all plot.
Yeah, I say...
So there's five categories.
Yeah, I say if a game focuses more on its story and on its gameplay, that is fine in terms of pacing, because, it
kind of gives it a reason to be slow.
Exactly. It gives it a reason to be a slower pace, which I find completely fine. If you want to get me invested in a story, then you gotta slow down and explain everything to me.
Yeah.
Games that only care about the gameplay and the story is basically non-existent are fine, too. Because if you keep up the action and you keep the game entertaining, then that pace really benefits the experience. Games with a mix, like half and half, are fine. Also, because, you get some really cool story, and then you go and you experience the gameplay, which I also like games that, teach you more about the story through the gameplay.
Yeah.
So games like that are fine, too, because the pace is kind of down the middle, where they teach you more about the universe while you experience the universe,
Yeah.
But games where, like, there's an imbalance, like, it's not exactly all about story than gameplay, or it's not exactly all about gameplay than plot, or it's, like, 75% gameplay, like, 70% gameplay, and then, like, 30% story.
Whoa! What the fuck was that?
I'll try and spell that out, but, games with, like, 70% gameplay and 30% story, if there's an imbalance between the two, when there's not supposed to be, it's not intended, then it suffers.
Yeah, that's kind of brutal.
Yeah. But anyway,
But yeah, that's our take on that.
Yeah, another game I wanted to mention, and I mentioned a couple minutes ago, Bayonetta. So far from what I've played, I've only played the prologue and Chapter 1, but I must say, that game, I feel so far, has the perfect pacing. Because Bayonetta, it's all about over-the-top action.
Oh yeah.
Every now and then...
That game seems to just not... Okay, yeah. Here's a fuck. I don't see any of those in Bayonetta.
But, yeah, a game like Bayonetta, it's, it gives you a mix of story and gameplay, but there's no imbalance. At least not yet. But so far, I feel that Bayonetta has perfect pacing. You're not going to get anything else out of that, man.
I gotta try, man. I need my.
Wait, I didn't get as much as you. I want to try. Okay. Wish me luck.
Okay.
Hey, everybody. No, it's all air now.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, it's all air.
It still tastes like fucking helium, though.
Yeah, it's after.
It tastes like Sharpies.
Yeah.
Not that we would know what they taste like, but well,
For those of you who can't see us, that's all of you. We just tried inhaling that helium again. There's no more helium in that balloon.
yeah.
Oh, well.
Helium's awesome, though.
We should just get a fucking helium tank just for the intro of the
That would
show.
probably kill us.
Yeah, it'd probably kill us every week.
Actually,
But,
can helium kill you? Probably.
It probably can, if you ingest enough of it. But, here's a game that we both experienced. Riley, why don't we talk about this game?
Fucking Christ. Okay, chill out, we got this.
Okay, I got it.
Okay, the game he just pointed to, for those of you who can't see, which, as he's established, is all of
Is
you.
all of you.
We're not recording this much, but...
This goes back to the first episode of Beer Banter. So, Riley, without further ado, the game we are about to talk about is... Drum roll, please.
Oh, that looks so cool in Audacity. Banjo-Kazooie Nuts and Bolts. Boo! Okay. I fucking got this.
Let's actually talk about it, because now we both actually played a substantial
Let's
amount.
try to keep an open mind about this, but at the same time, if we're just gonna shit talk it, we'll just go to town.
Yeah. So, what do you feel about Nuts and Bolts so far, from what you played?
Well, I know we played... Whoa. Sorry. I know we played kind of early in the game to say, but I have to say, vehicles and Banjo-Kazooie go together like Metal Gear Solid and Portal Guns.
Or finding a Mario and Yoshi figure in Metal Gear Solid.
Hey, that was funny. Don't question that. That was only in the GameCube remake. That was funny though.
That also goes...
If you shoot it, you increase your health.
You know, that... really?
Yeah.
Wow. That also goes with the law. It's basically a law by Nintendo that no Nintendo character can appear on any other console than a Nintendo console.
Oh, that rule's been broken.
Yeah, you've never seen like proper cameos from like Mario or like Donkey Kong on anything other than Nintendo system. But anyway,
yeah, they're not even mentioned in Wreck-It Ralph. Well, they mention them, but they don't appear.
But anyway, we're getting off topic. We gotta talk about Nuts and Bolts.
Okay.
So what do you think?
Well, Nuts and Bolts was... Don't get me wrong, when I first heard about it, I was just like, holy shit, Banjo-Kazooie 3, yeah!
Banjo 3.
Then I actually played a little bit of it not long after it came out at a friend's house. I have to say, I was just like, dude, why'd you get this shit? I wish I had the helium so it could replicate how my voice was at the time.
Dude, why'd you get this shit?
Yeah, really. Whoa, that was good.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, and then having recently played through a little bit more, not Rare, come on, man.
Yeah.
Rare.
I have to say, it's not the worst game ever. Like,
no, I've definitely played bigger pieces of shit in the world.
There's definitely a factor to it that, you know, I enjoy somewhat. It's definitely not the biggest piece of shit ever. There is some enjoyment to get out of it, but the fact that it's a Banjo-Kazooie game,
yeah, that's kind of
it could have been its own thing, and it probably would have been a great game on its own if
That's
it wasn't tied to Banjo-Kazooie.
That's the thing. Like, I'm trying to think of a good example. Yeah, but exactly. Like, if Nuts and Bolts was its own game, like with no Banjo-Kazooie labels at all, it probably wouldn't have been that bad.
Yeah.
Well, the reviewers would have definitely been more kind to it.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's connected now to the Banjo-Kazooie series, that really kind of did a number on it.
Yeah. So I've played about an hour and a half. Riley played about 10 minutes.
Yeah, before I was just like, what the fuck am I doing?
But I played a little bit last night, and I gotta say, it's okay. Like,
okay, on a scale of Casino Royale to Elysium, from bad to good, what would you give it?
Huh.
Okay, 1 to 5 stars.
No, I'm actually trying to think of, like, a middle-of-the-road movie to put in that scale.
Stuart Little 2?
I haven't seen Stuart Little in, like, fucking 14 years.
Yeah, me neither.
But anyway, 1 to 5 stars, I'd say it's right down the middle, 2.5.
Okay. So far.
It's average.
It's blah.
Yeah, to me, my 1 my 1 to 10 scale, 5 is an average. So I'd give it a 5 out of 10 so far.
Okay. So I'm trying to think of a movie we can compare it to. Click by Adam Sandler.
I haven't actually seen that,
It's
or
so-so.
I haven't seen it all the way through.
It's so-so. Okay, what's another so-so movie? Forrest Gump's fucking crazy.
No, Forrest Gump's fucking awesome.
No.
Batman and Robin. It's not so-so. It's awful.
Yeah, dude, that movie's fucking
It's fucking
bad shit.
Yeah.
Horrifying. Okay, Adventureland.
Adventure. Never seen that either.
With Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah, never seen that either.
Is that right?
Anyway,
What the fuck are we talking about?
I don't know. I don't fucking know.
Shout out to 310 Yuma. The guy who wrote the original story passed away yesterday.
Oh, really?
That the movie ends 1957 original is based on.
Okay, I have a question for you. What do you feel about licensed games?
License game? What do you? Can you elaborate?
Games based off like a franchise that's been already been established, like the Star Wars Force Unleashed,
Oh,
or like
okay.
Batman or Spider-Man. Something based off a franchise that's already been established.
Well, I really don't have a solid opinion on that. Well, if it all varies. Like a Batman game is obviously going to be a lot different than a Star Wars game.
Definitely.
So it all depends if they handle their source material accurately.
Exactly.
And they treat it with respect.
Yeah.
And if they can, not fuck it up, then it's like Batman Arkham City
Fucking
was
great game.
really good. And the other Batman game I have, Lego Batman.
Lego Batman 2.
You want that, don't you?
It's a fucking good game, man.
Yeah, like again, it all matters if you can handle it well. Really, I tend to repeat myself a lot in these BGN things, but all it comes down to, my final verdict: if you can make it faithful to the original series while just having fun with it at the same time, but at the same time making it faithful, then it could be good.
Yeah.
I guess it all doesn't matter until the fans actually play. Because let's face it, the fans know a lot more about the game than the people who make it.
Definitely. But unless the people who are making it are fans.
Well,
Aha! Fuck.
got me there.
But anyway, like a game, we've already established our opinions on the Batman Arkham series. We've already talked about several times on BGN. I want to mention another series I've come across, Star Wars The Force Unleashed.
Now I've played this game, but I've played it on the PSP.
Which is not the best way to play it.
No, it's actually very... Okay, all you're doing in the game is literally just mashing the button to just fucking hack and slash douchebags with your lightsaber.
But, I wanted to mention the Star Wars The Force Unleashed because... excuse me.
YOLO.
I've actually gotten this game in the... Oh, fucking...
God damn it.
Okay, we should stop with the fucking pop.
No, fuck that.
But, I've gotten this game in the last week. And I have to say, it's a fucking good game. Like, out of all the games that I've gotten in the past week, which sometime this week I'll upload the video showing those, but this is probably my favorite. Either that or Bayonetta so far. But I really...
I'm gonna ask you something, though.
Okay.
Okay, is that game, like, very, very focused on hacking and slashing?
Well...
Because the PSP version is. That's literally all you're doing.
Well, it's really... combat is a huge part of the game, but they give you a little more freedom with what you can do.
Okay, because, like, PSP is very restrictive.
Like, you can use your lightsaber, you can use your force powers. They give you a bunch of different methods for combat. You can go straight in with lightsabers, or you can use your force powers to levitate objects and throw them at enemies, or you can just levitate enemies and throw them off ledges.
Which is funny.
Or you can use environmental things, where I remember one part where you could literally rip a TIE fighter out of the sky and throw it at stormtroopers. And they also have these really unique Jedi fights, where basically the bosses of this game are you fighting rival Jedis. So it's not like this huge fucking alien or this gigantic monster. You're literally going one-on-one with another human. Yeah, and I think it's a really unique way to, do a boss fight. Of course they're going to have their patterns, but it's literally a one-on-one fight with lightsabers.
Yeah,
but yeah,
with
I'm really liking this game so far. I think it really stays true to the Star Wars franchise. It's actually set between the original and the prequel trilogy.
Okay, what do you think's better, the original or prequel trilogy?
Obviously the original. Is that even a question?
Yeah, not really. Okay, worst Star Wars movie? Where's Star Wars? Oh, fuck.
Um,
Episode 2 for me. Episode 2 is, like, bad.
I'm mixed between 1 and 2.
1 was good, I think, in my opinion. Yeah, it had its bad moments, but number 2 just definitely was like, okay, see everything wrong we did with the first movie, let's escalate it.
I actually haven't seen Revenge of the Sith.
You haven't?
Nope.
Oh, it's really good.
Is it?
Yeah, it's really good, actually.
Huh.
Definitely the best of the prequels.
That's interesting. I never understood why George Lucas did that, where the original series is 4, 5, and 6, and then the prequels are 1, 2, and 3.
Because he originally did episodes 4, 5, and 6 as one movie, but he broke it up. So
Why would he break it up as 4, 5, and 6, though?
I think
Did he plan on doing the prequel trilogy 20 years before it came out?
I think that kind of what it is. I mean, he explains it in one of the documentaries. If anybody watching this knows the true story, please comment with it.
I don't fucking understand it. Fucking
I
George
think
Lucas.
I think Lucas secretly saw a money-making thing and just went to
Yeah.
fucking town with it. Let's face it, that guy is rich as dick, and he's just milking Star Wars for all it's worth.
Yeah. Star Wars Episode 7. 8 and 9. Actually, it's a new trilogy.
Well, you know what? They got the old cast from the prequel trilogy coming back, so you know what? When I heard about that, it's just like, okay, you know what? I'll give it a chance.
And there are rumors that fucking Zac Efron and Justin Bieber are going to be in it.
I hope not.
Well, it's fucking Disney, so...
If Lucas... Oh, well, he's not really... Okay, you know what's weird? Remember how there used to be like the huge rivalry between Star Trek and Star Wars? Now the
That's not existent anymore.
Yeah, now... Okay, here's how much time's
Yeah,
changed.
the director's doing both.
Yeah, what? May the Force live long and prosper, for fuck's sakes.
Jesus Christ. Yeah.
Literally, that's my quote for this.
Yeah, so you've heard that rumor, too? Do you actually think J.J. Abrams is actually going to do
I hope
that
he does it. I hope he does, actually.
Because he's doing Star Trek, too, so that rivalry's pretty much dead.
It just goes to show you, right? What may seem like your worst enemy may end up becoming your best friend. And I know very well what
And
that's
it's
like.
tomorrow.
Yeah, and trust me, I know very well, personally, what that's like. People who I've hated have ended up becoming my best friends, believe it or not. That is not you.
Okay.
No.
I know it wasn't me, but I was just like, oh.
No. There's other people. So, you never know how things will happen. If something seems bad, it might be good. And if something seems good, it might be bad.
So, Riley, moving on with discussion, what do you think from what you've seen so far of a Bayonetta?
How fucking off topic do we go?
I don't care.
Whatever.
But yeah,
Well-
the main reason I brought this over was to just show you how fucking crazy
That game is nuts, bro.
So what do you think of it so far?
Well,
I think it's pretty fucking awesome.
I think it's like Adventure Time met with Skyrim. You have to be baked on acid to know what's going on, but it's pretty good.
Well, the whole story of the game is basically there's a witch, and she's fighting...
And a lion in a wardrobe.
No. There's a witch, and she's fighting the army of heaven, which is basically an army of angels, to unlock the eyes of the world to reclaim her past. And I don't fucking know what's going on.
It's one of those games where it's just like, okay, so this is happening, I'm just going to do it.
I have no clue. Yeah, I think, actually...
I want to edit in the clip of a raccoon from Dick Figures going, I have no idea what's going on.
I have no idea. Oh, did you hear about the movie?
I have not. What?
It comes out the same day as GTA 5.
Oh, for fuck's sake, come on! Does everything good possibly have to come out when we actually have to start college and actually give a shit about our goddamn education? God damn it!
It's not funny when you pretend to be mad.
I'm not pretending.
Sure
I'm not
you
pretending.
Fuck!
Fuck!
But anyway.
I'm not fucking pretending. Dude.
Maybe I shouldn't have brought that up. But anyway. Jeez, calm down.
Okay. Do you have weed?
No.
I could use some right
Let's
now.
talk about happy stuff, like Banjo-Kazooie.
Let's talk about happy things. Like, have you ever seen Schindler's List?
Oh, shut up.
I am going to hell for that.
Yeah. Well, you were going to hell for everything else you've ever said. So.
Yeah, really. Shane knows me too well.
Yeah. But anyway, anything else you want to talk about?
Not really. Dude. I don't really know much else.
You just sound like the stupidest person in the world right there.
Okay, what the fuck is wrong with me today?
I don't know.
I see. Am I just out of it, or am
I
I
don't
always
know.
like this?
I don't know.
You just like
Maybe
saying
you're
that.
all, maybe I'm just humoring myself.
Maybe I'm secretly mentally psychotic. What
Maybe-
the fuck are you doing?
Maybe I'm just humoring you. I don't know.
Maybe I'm just nuts, and I just I belong in a straitjacket in a padded room with a rubber ducky.
An Arkham Asylum.
Yeah, really. Not whoa, dude. Arkham is like low class for me, dude. I need to be like chained to a wall.
Oh, they'll chain you to a wall.
Yeah, really.
Bane.
Burn.
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 But anyway.
Yeah, I don't really have much else to...
Yeah, me neither.
This is kind of a short one because it's sort of impromptu. And
yeah, I really didn't have any notes for today. So
you weren't even keeping time.
Yeah, there really hasn't... I did not forget about the timer last week, by the way, again.
Okay, good. I was about to ask you about that.
But anyway,
Ooh, one final thing.
One final thing, okay.
I think it's safe to say the PS Vita is going to redeem itself.
Yes! There have been a lot of announcements this week about the Vita, where, actually two final things, because I just remembered something. It was announced that Borderlands 2 is coming to the Vita, Minecraft is coming to the Vita, Fez is coming to the Vita, as well as the PS3 and 4. So the Vita is really shaping up. It's getting some pretty quality titles so far.
Is Minecraft coming to PS3?
They didn't say anything about that. Fuck. But apparently it's coming to Vita.
Of course, two systems I don't own. PS4 and Vita.
Yeah.
And you know what? I was debating the Vita, but it's just like, there was nothing fucking out for it.
Dude, you definitely went with the right choice.
With the 3DS?
The 3DS was definitely the right choice. Trust me.
Okay,
you can rely on Nintendo with their portables. Sony, not so much.
I know people got the Virtual Boy. Well, dude, the PSP was good.
The PSP was good. I thought it was good. A lot of people didn't think so. Because they said, oh, there aren't any games on it, and the games that are there suck.
Have you actually played any of the games on the system?
I like Secret Agent Clank.
That was kind of meant to be rhetorical, but yeah.
I like Secret Agent Clank.
That was good. That was a good game.
I like Size Matters, too.
Yeah,
that was a good Ratchet game. It's actually considered part of the original series.
Yeah,
before they went to the Future series.
I'm just going to say this, though. Peace Walker was not that good.
How did we go from Ratchet and Clank to Metal Gear?
I don't know.
Wait a minute. Oh, yeah, speaking of Ratchet and Clank, I guess this one last thing before I go into my final discussion topic, and then we'll cut it here. Did you hear? No. Did you hear about the new Ratchet game coming out this year?
I did. Yes.
Into the Nexus. From what I've heard, the story is actually an epilogue to the Future series.
Ooh.
So it still takes place in that universe, and it's basically going to wrap up the Future series for good. They're not calling it a Future game, but it will wrap up the story of the Future games.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, it looks really fucking cool. And it's got the anti-gravity mechanics. It's got a tractor beam weapon where you shoot a point on somewhere, and then you shoot the other point somewhere else, and then there's a tractor beam and takes you over. And then there's gameplay where you're you have your gravity boots, but you're out in space, and you're jumping through asteroids and space rocks, and you're out on space platforms. And I also saw some gameplay where do you remember in the old Ratchet games when they had space combat?
Yep.
Where you go out into space in your ship and you would dogfight? They have that back, but instead of dogfighting in your ship, you're actually out in space. Like Ratchet himself puts a helmet on, and then he actually goes out into space and starts fighting
Ratchet in space! Couldn't resist.
With guns. But yeah, I thought that was really cool. It's they're getting rid of the ship, and they're basically having human dogfights in space.
Which is kind of cool, because this is something I've always wanted to see in games. Dead Space kind of dabbled in this a little bit.
Yeah, they kind of did a little bit.
I want to see a game where you're full-blown zero-G out in space.
Yeah, that would be
and
awesome.
Modern Warfare 3 had it for about 2 seconds at one point.
Oh yeah, the fucking astronaut.
No.
No, that was Modern Warfare 2.
And you couldn't even move. Modern Warfare 3 has a mission when the plane's going down and you're in zero-G.
Oh. I wouldn't know, because I played that for 15 minutes and I was fuck this.
Ooh, do you want to know a fun fact? You know how you see people floating around the space station?
Yeah.
They're not technically floating, they're actually falling. But they're actually technically falling so fast
that they don't move?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, they're actually not technically
Do
floating.
they feel the momentum on their body?
No.
Huh, that's interesting. Anyway, so yeah, Ratchet and Clank Nexus, that looks cool. It will wrap up the story of the Future games pretty nicely. One more thing before we wrap up here. Riley, we discussed this while we were out to Max. What is your favorite trilogy of games? We didn't actually answer this question. Okay, I'll give you a little guideline here. It can be a series that's had more than 3 games, but all that counts are the original 3 games. Anything after that does not count. And it has to be a trilogy where all 3 games have been consistently good.
Well, I think it's a tie between Metal Gear Solid 1, 2, and 3 and the 3 Uncharted's for me.
That's
It's really fucking hard to pick and choose.
See, I keep thinking, I would say Halo, but I haven't played Halo 2. There hasn't been a Portal 3 yet.
Half-Life 3.
Half-Life 3
Team
doesn't
Fortress
exist.
3.
Oh, you know what? There hasn't been a Borderlands 3, so I can't say that.
You know what?
I haven't played Gears of War 3. I haven't played any of the original GTA games.
I did back in the day.
You know what I'd have to say in terms of a trilogy? I would have to say that my favorite trilogy is Bioshock.
Good trilogy.
Yes.
Good trilogy.
Bioshock 1 was an amazing game. Bioshock 2 was a fucking great game. And Bioshock Infinite blew me away.
Oh man, I still need to get my hands on that.
Yeah. I think that's the only trilogy I've actually played. I have to think about that. Because Arkham Origins isn't out yet, so I can't say the Batman Arkham trilogy. There isn't a Borderlands 3. I've only played COD 3, I haven't played 2 or 1. There isn't a Crackdown 3. I haven't played Gears 3. I haven't played Far Cry 2, so I can't say Far Cry. I haven't played Halo 2, so I can't say Halo.
Hey, they don't know that you haven't played those games. You can just kind of bullshit it.
No, I want to be honest, fuck you. But I haven't played any of the original GTA games. I haven't, Portal 3 doesn't exist. The new Rayman series only has 2 games, and one's not even out yet. Yeah, so I'd have to say my favorite game trilogy that I've experienced so far is Bioshock.
Good choice.
I'd have to say that. And with that, if there's nothing else to discuss, I guess we'll wrap things up here on Bearded Banter. We should have saved some of that helium for the outro.
Fuck, yeah, we should have. Damn it.
Oh well. I'm the Bearded One. It's Random Richard.
There's no helium.
There's no helium.
So I'll just make my voice like this. Goodbye, everybody!
Dude, we're using Audacity. You can just change our voice. Change it right here.
And we'll see you next time, everyone. Keep on gaming. My voice is so high-pitched. Whoa! I know, dude. I've inhaled so much helium. Holy shit, are we up in the Himalayas? I can see a unicorn coming at me. I think I'm gonna pass out. Me too. And with that, we will end this. Goodbye, everybody.